I'm Christy Rasmussen, and I'm a senior at Texas A&M Commerce. I'm currently studying organizational leadership. For the last 16 years, I've been a private duty pediatric nurse. I provide one-to-one specialized nursing care to children with special needs. I've always wanted to work in service-oriented jobs. It's something that I'm passionate about. I've worked in sales, I've worked in the dental field, and I've worked in all aspects of nursing care. I really enjoy this. I've never wanted to manage or supervise a team. So why am I in an organizational leadership program? Well, to be honest with you, I just needed a degree, and I didn't care what it was in. It could have been in basket weaving as far as I was concerned. See, when I started this degree, I didn't have an understanding about the importance of leadership or even what a good leader does. Yeah, sure, I've had supervisors and managers that I've reported to, but I never really thought about it past that. I've never even much less considered myself a leader. I've never had the desire to supervise others, nor did I want the hassle of all that responsibility. But as I learned early in the program, in my first class, Issues in Organizational Leadership, leaders aren't just supervisors. Many of the characteristics and behavior a leader exemplifies, such as being inspirational and ethical, thinking strategically and communicating effectively, I came to see in myself. I also saw that being a leader is a skill that can be learned. Now, just because I thought I had some leadership qualities didn't make me want to be a leader still. As I progressed through my classes, I began a foreign language class called Data-Driven Decision Making. I say a foreign language because I had no business acumen. Words like metrics and data, they meant nothing to me. But I did recognize some issues that needed to be addressed with the company that I had currently worked for because of this course. Data-driven decision making 1 and 2 helped me to identify some issues and learn how to use metrics to analyze the situation, formulate a plan, and to address the problem. I also learned how to analyze currently available data from a fictitious company and used it to understand how the company could improve sales and performance. So at this point, I started to realize that maybe I could make a difference. So how did the first class of data-driven decision making help me to identify problems with the company that I was currently working for? Well, a little background on the organization. The organization was a private duty pediatric nursing agency, and the goal of the company was to help medically fragile children to stay at home and reach their optimal functioning capacity. Well, to do this, a private duty nurse is placed into a child's home to provide total care for them. Now, total medical care may be provided for up to 24 hours a day, depending on the medical necessity of the child and what the physician orders. Well, what I discovered was that some of the children were not receiving all the prescribed care due to a shortage of nurses that had specialized skills. Also, the nurses with these skills were working a lot of overtime hours. That decreased the profit margin of the company exponentially. So my recommendation was to survey all of the patients' families to see where coverage wasn't being provided and to institute a classification and training program for the nurses. This would allow us to strategically plan when hiring and scheduling nurses. Also, I recommended the hiring of a respiratory therapist to train nurses for additional skills. 2 months later, we began a monthly in-service training, and every month thereafter, a respiratory therapist would offer training to nurses who needed training. Okay, so maybe I do have some leadership qualities. I certainly have a vision now. So at this point in my leadership journey, I'm beginning to see myself as a leader. As I begin the 2-term course, Behavior, Ethics, and Leadership, I become more aware of what my leadership role could be after graduation. In the first term of this course, I completed a case study analysis of the Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company was the first corporation to be indicted in criminal charges for reckless homicide. The leadership of Ford knew that the gas tanks in the Ford Pinto were defective, yet they did nothing to correct the problem. They did a cost-benefit analysis of the issue and concluded that it would be cheaper to pay for any deaths or injuries that might occur than proactively correct the design on their own. However, they failed to account for the cost of the loss of reputation and trust by the public into their decision to take this action. Ford's leadership failed to use a moral compass to guide its decisions made on behalf of their stakeholders. My conclusions to this case study analysis are that ethics and behavior are inseparable from good leadership. During the second term of this course, I completed a critical issue analysis on Carlos Ghosn's leadership style during the Nissan-Renault alliance. I was fascinated by how much of a difference one great leader could make. The speed with which he was able to turn around Nissan from a nearly bankrupt company to a profitable one was incredible. So we can see by evaluating these case studies that every organization has problems. In the next course of study, Leadership Theory 1, I learned that you can apply leadership theory to practical problems. During my coursework, I performed a SWOT analysis of a Fortune 500 company. SWOT is an acronym for Internal Strengths and Weaknesses and External Opportunities and Threats. The SWOT analysis helped me to pinpoint an area of the company that could be improved on by implementing a specific plan of action. But it was only after performing the SWOT analysis that that need became apparent. In the second part of leadership theory, I learned how to utilize the SWOT analysis by identifying a business process and developing a process improvement plan. In my process improvement plan, I analyzed the hiring and training process of the company for which I did the SWOT analysis. This allowed me to identify areas in which the hiring process could be improved, which would result in the company having better trained employees. From this I learned even a seemingly mundane business practice has the potential for improvement. In leading change, I learned that change can be the catalyst for creating a new opportunity for an organization which didn't exist before. In my project for this course, I redesigned an organizational chart for a company creating 2 new positions that would help to increase services the company provides, therefore increasing profits and efficiency. Everything kind of started coming together in Capstones 1 and 2. I started Capstone 1 by doing a comparative analysis on the leadership styles of leaders of 2 different kinds of organizations. In this case, what was interesting was I chose a father and son as the 2 leaders to study. The father happens to be my stepfather, who is a recently retired superintendent of a public school district, and his son, who is my brother, an attorney, is the founder of a non-profit legal aid organization. No, I wasn't trying to prove that trait theory is still true, but what I was curious to know is if the 2 would have similar leadership styles. What I found out was that although they had some similarities, they have completely different leadership approaches and styles. The next assignment was to select one of the 2 leaders and conduct a strategic case analysis of his organization. I chose my brother and his nonprofit legal aid organization. The organization provides free legal aid and advice to homeless and low-income clients in the greater Nashville, Tennessee area. They primarily operate in conjunction with the Nashville Homeless Mission and a church counseling center. Currently, all of the employees who work with the nonprofit do so on a 100% volunteer basis. As a result, the organization can only offer advice and counsel, but they do not represent clients legally. They would like to hire a full-time staff attorney, but they don't have the funding to do that. The full-time attorney would be able to legally represent clients in pro bono court cases and in other legal matters. The findings of my strategic case analysis indicated that the nonprofit needs a stronger internet presence to allow prospective donors to learn more about the organization. These donors would in turn provide the funding necessary to hire a staff attorney, allowing my brother's nonprofit to provide more services to a larger number of clients. Using all that I've learned in the course of study, I was able to get a complete analysis of the organizational leadership and current level of functioning. This helped me to see from the outside looking in a way to help propel the organization forward so that it could grow and secure more clients. Capstone2 has given me an opportunity to reflect on everything that I've learned in my journey. It has also given me the opportunity to learn how to make this video, which I have really enjoyed. I can see now that I'll be able to use this and this skill in my current future leadership roles. To describe myself as a leader now, I would say that my attitude has completely changed from what it was before I began this program. I'm now excited about leadership opportunities because I can see how good leadership skills can make a dramatic improvement in an organization. As a leader, my role is to inspire and to empower, not just to manage or supervise. And I can't wait for the chance to put all this that I've learned to good use. Before this program, I would have never taken the initiative to make suggestions to a nursing agency that I was working for regarding efficiency and profitability. Before, I would have simply bemoaned the fact that there was a lack of covered shifts. But as a result of the leadership skills that I've learned here at TAMUC, I was able to identify and analyze a situation and offer recommendations to improve it. The fact that the company implemented my recommendation gives me a deep sense of satisfaction on several levels. Also, even though it's only been a short time since I've completed Capstone2, I've gotten great feedback from the leadership of the nonprofit legal aid organization, which was the subject of my strategic case analysis. If my suggestions are implemented, they will have a dramatic positive effect on that organization's ability to offer free legal aid to low-income clients. Okay, so I can see myself inspiring others and empowering others, and I have a vision. I aspire to be a transformational leader and becoming more self-aware, listening effectively, communicating more effectively will help me on my leadership journey. Okay, so where do I go from here? Well, I'm currently applying for positions with different government agencies such as protective services, but I've applied at some NGOs. But you know the difference in my current job search and all those before is that now I'm approaching this from a perspective of how can I help bring about positive change to an organization. I'm excited about using the skills that I've acquired at Texas A&M University Commerce through the Organizational Leadership Program. You've empowered me to become more than I could have imagined. You know, going from someone who had no desire to lead whatsoever to someone who now has a vision to help strategically lead organizational change, that's impressive. One thing is for sure, all that I have learned and that you have given to me in this program will greatly benefit my next employer. When I decided to return to school to complete my degree, it was scary because I'd been out of school for so long. But this program is different from any others that I know about. It allowed me to learn at my own pace, and there's no doubt that success is attributable to the faculty and staff of the Organizational Leadership Program here at A&M Commerce. Thank you to all of you that have been instrumental in this part of my life and my leadership journey.